North. We've got lots to get to. Aaron Rodgers and company, Tampa Bay and company. So let's get right to it. It's time for Lead Block.
Lead Block.
Lead Block.
Let's go. Aaron Rodgers. Oh, I thought I was going to go on a 3-week vacation and this was going to be over. Oh, no, it's still going on? Okay. It's continuing from Hawaii to his match with Brady. And over the weekend, another golf course at the American Century Championship, the Packers quarterback gave a timeline, sort of, when asked about his future. Rodgers said, I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this week, and then I'm going to get back to working out and figure things out in a couple weeks. All right, looking at the calendar here, you'll notice that a couple weeks from now, the Packers actually start training camp. It begins on July 27th. So it is, in fact, crunch time. We are almost there, and we're happy you guys are here with us, watching us and choosing us to start your morning with to discuss things Packers. Schrager, I ask you, how would you handle this, not from the Rodgers side, which you talked about a ton, from the Packers side of things?
Yeah, and you know, Rodgers, it's not like he's not in the public eye. I thought the golfing with Brady last Thursday night was awesome. I watched all 18 holes with obviously Bryson and Mickelson, and Rodgers was funny with Barkley talking, and I just felt like Rodgers was so happy. Then you get to the Accenture tournament this past weekend, and he was fantastic again in interviews, and yet when he was asked about the situation, his recurring comments was just like you said, I'm going to enjoy the heck out of this weekend. I'm going to enjoy the heck out of the next few weeks. So if I'm the Packers, say less. That's my thing. Say less. Because already we've heard complicated fella, and then we've heard that Aaron Rodgers is dividing the fan base. That came out of the Packers camp almost unintentionally. And how that was taken out of context or how that was interpreted or miscommunicated went a million ways, and it was fodder for not only our show, but for every show and every talk radio show. And I promise you, Rodgers is not off the grid. He's not in Peru like he was a couple years ago, not listening to this stuff. He's aware, he's listening, he's watching. So my advice to the Packers would be, give him his space. If he loves you, he'll come back even for a year. If he doesn't, then he's probably better off, and let Jordan Love be the man. But give him his space for the next couple of weeks. Let him finish off this dream offseason that has included Jeopardy. It has included the Kenny Mayne farewell. It has included countless sporting events. And it, of course, has included that wonderful Hawaii vacation that I'm still jealous of that he got to go on with the waterfalls and everything that they were doing. You throw in the golf, the interactions with Brady and all these other NFL people this past weekend. Let him finish that up. And then when training camp starts, open that door and say, hey, all things aside, bygones be bygones, mandatory minicamp, you're Aaron Rodgers. Maybe we should have treated you this way all along. You can do whatever you'd like in the offseason. Just be here on day one of training camp and let's get to work. Rodgers looks great. He's in incredible shape. He seems happy. Mentally seems to be just fine. Just need to see him come to camp on July 26th.
Yeah, and that may not happen, Strakes. And if that doesn't happen, then what do you do if you're the Packers? You prepare Jordan Love as if he is the starter. And I know it's easier said than done. And it's not just preparing Jordan Love, it's also preparing the team. What do I mean by that? Okay, when you have a backup quarterback that is thrusted into the starting lineup unexpectedly, it usually happens because of injury. I know what that's like personally. I remember playing for the Minnesota Vikings, Dante Culpepper going down. Gus Farratt comes in, Brad Johnson comes in. Okay, that's fine, but those were vets. I remember being in Seattle. Matt Hasselbeck goes down, Seneca Wallace jumps in. He was a young veteran player. Even when I was playing in Detroit and a young Matt Stafford went down, we had Sean Hill and Drew Stanton, a couple of guys that were vets that could come in. This situation is unique. Even though Jordan Love is going into his second year, he really is a rookie. He didn't even touch the field. I don't even believe he suited up last season. So for that reason, this essentially is his first NFL season. So like I said, you're going to have to prepare Jordan Love as if he's the starter. Forget about, hopefully, fingers crossed, let's pray that Aaron Rodgers will show up. Forget that. He's not here. Let's treat it as such. But it's not just preparing Jordan Love as the starter. You're also going to have to prepare the team that Jordan Love will be the starter. What does that mean? That there will be rookie mistakes even though he's going into his sophomore year. It's kind of like the Daniel Day-Lewis movie. There will be blood. You got to talk to your team and say, listen, there will be errors. There will be mistakes. There will be blood. There will be ups and downs because we have a young quarterback. Now, if you talk to your team in that sense, there won't be any surprises. And there won't be any internal conflict if Jordan Love goes out there and he does stub his toe a little bit. But none of this matters if Aaron Rodgers shows up. But as of right now, we don't know if that's going to happen.
Nate, you're right that the Packers have to prepare for every possible eventuality. But in terms of Aaron Rodgers specifically, I am completely with you, Peter. And I'll quote Aaron Rodgers. RELAX. There is no play here for the Packers. All they can possibly do is step back, to quote you now, Peter, give Aaron Rodgers his space, because there is nothing the Packers are going to do that's going to sway whatever it is that Rodgers wants to do. He's having the time of his life, just as you said. Give him that space. Don't put any unnecessary pressure on him. Don't mess it up with your words. And look, he is playing the best football of his life. I really have a hard time believing that he's walking away from that forever and ever. I think the only thing that you can do at this point is irk him. I just ran through what the FCC allows in my head right there, but the only thing the Packers can do is irk him. So don't irk him. Shut up and give him his space.
Don't irk him, she says. Okay, listen. I don't know I've never had the pleasure of hours of labor like you have, Aditi, or you gentlemen who've been through it with your wives. But I do know a little something about relationships and dysfunct. And that's what's happening right here with these two. Let me just throw this at you, Schrager. So we're saying don't do anything, don't poke the bear, let him be, let him live. Is there a world, I know you're not on Instagram, but there's like a targeted thirst trap situation where the Packers start, to Nate's point about preparing Jordan Love, maybe a couple of nice little quotes out there by LaFleur at press conferences leading up to training camp. Maybe there's some nice pictures and wow, I didn't know we could zip it like that. Pumping up Jordan Love to sort of, when you're in a relationship and it's gone, it's bad and the guy's not responding, like put up a photo of you and another guy and he'll call you within 5 minutes. It's a rule and a proven fact. Is there a Brady Garoppolo part of this where you think that could needle Aaron a little bit? I'm being cheeky, of course. Packers fans, don't come after me.
As cheeky as you are, Kay, I want to just listen to 10 minutes of that stuff because that is all far more interesting than this situation here. I love it. But I will say this. I would go the other way. Is there a way on Instagram or publicly you all of a sudden start being very laudatory and praising Rodgers and going over the top?
That works
maybe
too.
That's what it is. If you really love this guy, is that where LaFleur and maybe Devontae Adams and Bakhtiari get on a call and say, let's fly out there. We've got a week to go. I don't know what we're doing on vacation here, but why don't we get together and maybe go and play to his, ego, or just play to his, and try to talk to him as his friends, because I think he's still very tight with Bakhtiari and Devontae Adams. I know he's tight with LaFleur. Mm-hmm. This is a front office thing. So maybe it's that kind of energy. But I wouldn't go the other way, Kay. I wouldn't start flaunting, look at this Jordan Love, look at this thing we got on our arm. I would not go that route.
Okay, so Aaron Rodgers, you usually hear everything. If not, you hear it through different channels. So, we love you. And I've met you a few times. I've told everybody I wish I played for you. So don't take this personally. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't give a different perspective on this. Of course we want you to come back, bro. You're one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But at the same time, though, how much space do you need? Schrags, I hear you. Aditi, I hear you. Kay, okay, cool. But, how much more space in an offseason can an NFL player actually have? This dude's vacationing everywhere, kicking it. He's going to every golf course. He's been on every continent, kick back, relaxing, wearing shirts that says I'm offended. In what era of the NFL are we saying, you know what? Let's give him more space and let's continue to just stroke his ego until he comes. You're a football player under a contract. You want some reasons? 35 million reasons why you should be showing up. And not just 35 million reasons. You got 50-something other players that are sitting back saying, hold up, wait a minute, fam. We've been working out all summer. While you've been kicking it, hanging out under waterfalls and playing golf, I've been bleeding and sweating and trying to get my mind right for this long, extended season that I know we have. Not to mention, Tom Brady is still down in Tampa with the same team and the same coaches. Oh, but we're all supposed to relax and stroke his ego and give him a little bit more space. No, maybe somebody within that organization should say, hey, yo, Let's call Aaron. Let's pull up on him. Let's not catch a flight and go kick it with him and have a Mai Tai by the beach. Let's go and say, Aaron, we need you. Enough. Get out your feelings. You made your point. Now let's go win a championship.
And that, folks, is why that guy won the Sports Emmy for Best Studio Analysis. Nate, I love you, man. Good for you for saying what a lot of people are thinking but won't say on air. Good for you, Nate.
Well, I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that now that there's that brilliance. But here's what I'll say, Nate. You talk about getting your mind right. How do we not know that Aaron Rodgers is getting his mind right underneath those waterfalls in Hawaii? And that's what he needs right now. And I'll also add this one. It's not necessarily about stroking an ego. On no planet is Aaron Rodgers threatened by Jordan Love. This is one of those situations where if you actually think that girl is better than me, then go. Have fun with it. That's what I would say, Kay. And then the second thing I'd say is catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar.
Ooh. Oh, snap. Let's go. You guys are working my love life out right here on live television. There's nothing I love more than a well-rested off 3 weeks of vacation Nate Burleson shot out of a cannon this morning for your viewing pleasure.
Needed an hour.
We want you guys to be part of the conversation this morning at GMFB. Schrager, you're not wrong, but that's okay. How should the Packers handle the Aaron Rodgers situation leading up to training camp? You let us know. Maybe we'll show your tweet on the air. Give us your best shot, everybody. We'll be back